Noah stood frozen in the loft doorway, his sketchbook slipping from his grip. The air thickened with tension, the hum of the overhead lights suddenly deafening. Emma's heart hammered as she stepped back from Liam, her voice trembling. "Noah, it's not what you think." "What is it then?" Noah's voice cracked, his eyes darting between her and Liam. "Were you two fighting?" Liam cleared his throat, his usual confidence fraying. "Your mom was just helping me adjust the lighting. It's complicated." "Complicated?" Noah scoffed, kicking his sketchbook aside. "You think I'm stupid? I'm not blind. Before we start, thank you for coming to my channel. Your participation is my happiness. Let me know where you are and what time it is now." Okay, now let's get into the story. The loft was cluttered with canvases, paint splatters decorating the floors like confetti. Emma adjusted her camera lens, capturing Noah's latest piece, a stormy abstract painting titled Eclipse. At 32, she'd imagined her life would feel more alive. Instead, it was a blur of silent dinners and unanswered texts from James, whose latest project in Dubai had stretched from weeks to months. "Mom, does this look too chaotic?" Noah asked, gesturing to the painting. Emma forced a smile. "It's perfect. Raw. Just like you wanted." Noah grinned, but his eyes lingered on her. "You okay? You've seemed off." "Just tired," she lied. The doorbell rang. Clara stood in the hallway, her silver hair swept into a messy bun, Liam beside her. At 23, he'd shed the awkwardness of his teen years, replaced by a quiet intensity that made Emma's breath hitch. His tattoos peeked out from under his rolled sleeves, and his gaze, sharp, hazel, unsettling, locked onto hers. This chaos needs a pro," Clara said, nudging Liam forward. "Liam's gonna help you style the gallery. His eye for design is sick." Liam smirked. "Mom's words, not mine." Emma's throat tightened. "We're fine, really." "Nonsense." Clara interrupted. "You've been working non-stop. Let him handle the heavy lifting." Noah, oblivious, clapped Liam's shoulder. "Dude, you're a lifesaver. Mom's been stress-coding the lighting for days." They worked side by side, rearranging canvases under the loft's industrial lights. Liam's hands grazed hers every time he passed a tool, each touch sending a jolt through her. He's Clara's son. A kid. But the way he lingered, the way his voice dipped when he said her name, Emma, felt anything but childish. "This one's my favorite," Liam said, nodding to Eclipse. "It's like quiet rage. You feel it." Emma froze. James had called the piece messy during their last strained video call. "Yeah," she whispered. "I do." Liam stepped closer, his shoulder brushing hers. "Noah's lucky. Having a mom who sees him." The air thickened. Emma fumbled with her camera. "We should focus on the lighting." Liam's smile faded. "Right. The lighting." At midnight, the loft was transformed. Fairy lights twined around steel beams, casting Noah's art in ethereal gold. Emma collapsed onto a paint-splattered stool, exhaustion weighing her bones. "Drink." Liam held out a chipped mug of coffee. She took it, their fingers brushing. "You didn't have to stay." "Wanted to." His voice softened. "You're different than I remember." Emma laughed nervously. "Older." "Alive," he said, holding her gaze. "Like you've been holding your breath for years." Her chest constricted. Before she could reply, her phone buzzed. A text from James. "Flight delayed. Home tomorrow." Liam glanced at the screen, his jaw tightening. "He doesn't deserve you." Emma stood abruptly, the stool screeching. "You should go." For a heartbeat, he didn't move. Then he grabbed his jacket, pausing at the door. "You know where to find me." Alone, Emma stared at Eclipse, its stormy hues mirroring her turmoil. Her phone lit up, a photo from Liam. The loft, bathed in golden light, captioned "Beautiful Chaos." She deleted it, then saved it. The gallery opening loomed in 3 days, and Emma's nerves frayed like the edges of Noah's canvases. James' return from Dubai did little to ease the tension. He arrived with a suitcase full of blueprints and half-hearted apologies, his eyes skimming over Noah's artwork like it was background noise. "It's bold," James said, gesturing at Eclipse during dinner. "But will it sell?" Noah stabbed his fork into his salad. "It's not about selling, Dad. It's about feeling something." James frowned. "Feelings don't pay bills." Emma's grip tightened around her wine glass. Noah's work is brilliant. The gallery's already getting press. James shrugged, already scrolling through emails. We'll see. The next morning, Emma found Liam in the loft, rearranging lighting fixtures with a focus that bordered on obsessive. His sleeves were rolled up, revealing ink-stained forearms. You're here early, she said, hovering in the doorway. He didn't turn around. Noah wanted the back wall lit like a sunrise. Figured you'd need help before James. We'll see him into a panic. Emma flinched. He's trying his best. At what? Being absent. Liam finally faced her, his gaze sharp. You don't have to defend him. The air crackled. Emma stepped back. This isn't your family, Liam. Maybe not, he said softly. But it's yours. And you deserve better. Noah burst in, clutching a paint-smeared notebook. Liam, I need your opinion on the layout. He froze, sensing the tension. Am I interrupting? No, Emma said too quickly. We're done here. As she turned to leave, Liam called after her. The offer stands. Any time. That night, James worked late again. Emma scrolled through Liam's texts, his last message burning in her mind. The chaos is the best part. She deleted it. Then impulsively she drove to the loft. Liam was there, sketching under the glow of a desk lamp. He didn't look up. Knew you'd come back. I'm here for Noah, she lied. Sure. He stood, closing the distance between them. You're a terrible liar, Emma. Her breath hitched. This can't happen. Why? His hand brushed hers. Because you're afraid? Or because you want it too much? The door creaked open. Mom. Noah stood in the doorway, his eyes wide. What's going on? Noah stood frozen in the loft doorway, his sketchbook slipping from his grip. The air thickened with tension, the hum of the overhead lights suddenly deafening. Emma's heart hammered as she stepped back from Liam, her voice trembling. Noah, it's not what you think. What is it then? Noah's voice cracked, his eyes darting between her and Liam. Were you two fighting? Liam cleared his throat, his usual confidence fraying. Your mom was just helping me adjust the lighting. It's complicated. Complicated. Noah scoffed, kicking his sketchbook aside. You think I'm stupid? I'm not blind. Emma reached for him, but he flinched. Please let me explain. Explain what? Noah's voice rose. Why you're here with him instead of Dad. Why you've been lying to everyone. Liam stepped forward, hands raised. Noah, this isn't your mom's fault. I pushed. Stay out of this. Noah snapped, tears glistening. You ruin everything. He stormed out, the loft door slamming behind him. Emma collapsed onto a paint-splattered stool, her hands shaking. Liam hovered awkwardly, guilt etched into his features. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. Go, Emma whispered. Just go. The drive home felt endless. James' car was already in the driveway, lights blazing through the living room windows. Inside, Noah sat rigid on the couch, James pacing furiously. Where the hell were you? James demanded, his tie loosened, eyes bloodshot. Emma swallowed hard. At the loft. Finalizing the gallery setup. With Liam. Noah muttered bitterly. James froze. Who's Liam? Noah stood, his voice trembling with rage. Clara's son. The guy Mom's been sneaking around with. James turned to Emma, his expression shifting from confusion to disbelief. Is this true? Emma's throat tightened. It's not what he's saying. Liam was helping with the gallery, and what? James interrupted, his voice rising. You're defending him? Do you even hear yourself? Noah shoved past them, grabbing his car keys. I'm staying at Jake's. Don't call me. The front door slammed, leaving Emma and James in suffocating silence. James sank into a chair, running a hand through his disheveled hair. How long? Emma hugged herself, tears spilling over. Nothing happened. I swear. But you wanted it to. His voice was cold, final. Didn't you? She couldn't answer. James stood abruptly, his voice breaking. I'm staying at the hotel tonight. We'll figure this out tomorrow. Alone, Emma scrolled through her phone, pausing on a text from Clara. Noah called me. What's going on? She deleted it. Then, against her better judgment, she opened Liam's last message. I'm here if you need me. She typed a reply, stay away, but couldn't bring herself to send it. Thank you for listening to the story so far. Your encouragement means a lot to me. Please comment and share your thoughts here. I love you and I am so grateful to have you on this journey with me to explore the story further. The hotel room was sterile, the hum of the air conditioner drowning out James' ragged breaths. He stared at his phone, thumb hovering over Noah's last text. I'm not coming home. Across town, Emma sat alone in the dark kitchen, clutching a cold mug of tea, the loft key burning a hole in her pocket. Noah's art showcase was tomorrow, but the gallery walls felt like a prison. Emma wandered through the empty space, her footsteps echoing. A single spotlight illuminated Eclipse, its stormy hues now mocking her. You look like hell. Emma spun around. Liam stood in the doorway, his usual confidence replaced by guilt. I didn't think you'd come, she whispered. I had to. He stepped closer, his voice raw. Noah won't answer my calls. Clara knows. Emma's stomach twisted. This is my fault. I should've. We should've, Liam interrupted. But it's not too late to fix it. Fix it. She laughed bitterly. James won't even look at me. Noah hates me. What's left to fix? Liam reached for her hand, but she recoiled. Don't, she said, her voice breaking. Just leave. Clara found Emma crumpled on the gallery floor hours later, surrounded by discarded photo prints. Em, she said softly, kneeling beside her. Talk to me. Emma shook her head, tears staining the sleeves of her sweater. I ruined everything. Clara sighed, holding up a wrinkled letter. Noah's college acceptance letter, hidden in her bag. He got into the art school in Paris. He's terrified to tell you. Emma's breath hitched. Why? Because he thinks you'll say no. Because he thinks you need him here. Clara's voice softened. But you're suffocating him, Em. Just like James suffocated you. James arrived unannounced at midnight, his suit rumpled, eyes bloodshot. We need to talk. Emma nodded, bracing herself. I called a marriage counselor, he said flatly. First session is tomorrow. She stared at him. You're willing to try? For Noah, he said, his tone icy. Not for us. The showcase arrived. Noah's paintings gleamed under the gallery lights, but his seat sat empty. James lingered near the exit, avoiding Emma's gaze. Guests murmured praises, oblivious to the fractures beneath the surface. Then the door creaked open. Noah stood there, his hair messy, eyes red-rimmed. He avoided Emma, heading straight for Eclipse. Liam stepped out of the shadows, holding a small wrapped canvas. This is yours, Liam said, handing it to Noah. Your mom helped me finish it. Noah unwrapped the painting, a fractured mirror, its shards reflecting splashes of gold. Titled Mended. It's not perfect, Emma said, her voice trembling. But neither are we. Noah's jaw tightened. Why should I care? Because I'm sorry, she whispered. And because I'm trying. Outside, rain poured as James approached Noah. I'm proud of you, he said stiffly. Even if I don't say it enough. Noah scoffed. Too late, Dad. Maybe. James hesitated. But I'm here. For once I'm here. Emma found Liam packing his tools in the loft. Where are you going? Seattle. Fresh start. He slung his bag over his shoulder. You were right. Some lines shouldn't be crossed. She reached for him, then stopped. Thank you. For everything. He paused at the door. Don't let them go, Emma. Fight for them. As the gallery emptied, Emma stood alone in front of Mended. Her phone buzzed. A text from Noah. We need to talk. She replied. I'm ready. The cafe was quiet, the smell of roasted beans mingling with Noah's nervous energy. Emma sat across from him, her hands wrapped around an untouched latte. He hadn't looked at her once since they'd arrived. Why did you do it? Noah finally asked, his voice flat. Was it because Dad's never around? Emma's throat tightened. No. It was my mistake. I let myself feel invisible. But that's not an excuse. Noah traced the rim of his coffee cup. Liam's gone, you know. Mom told me. I know, Emma whispered. And I'm sorry you got caught in the middle. You think this is about Liam? Noah's eyes flashed. This is about you and Dad pretending everything's fine when it's not. You both just exist. The word stung, but Emma nodded. You're right. We stopped trying. But I want to fix that if you'll let me. Noah hesitated, then slid a crumpled envelope across the table. The Paris Art School logo glared up at her. I got in. But I didn't think you'd care. Emma's eyes welled. Noah, this is incredible. Why wouldn't I care? Because it's not practical. He mimicked James' tone bitterly. Because you'd rather I stay here and watch you two self-destruct. No, Emma reached for his hand, relieved when he didn't pull away. I want you to go. To live. Even if it scares me. James waited outside the cafe, his coat damp from the drizzle. Noah stormed past him without a word, but Emma lingered. How'd it go? James asked, his voice cautious. He's still angry. But he's talking. She paused. He's going to Paris, James. James flinched, then nodded. I figured. I found the acceptance letter weeks ago. Emma stared at him. Why didn't you say anything? Because I knew you'd say yes, he admitted. And I didn't want to lose him alone. The counseling office smelled like lavender and regret. Dr. Alvarez steepled her hands. Progress isn't linear. What matters is showing up. James cleared his throat. I booked a trip. To Paris. For Noah's orientation. Emma's breath caught. You hate traveling. I hate losing my family more. For the first time in months, Emma saw the man she'd married. The one who'd surprise her with rooftop picnics and terrible love notes. That night, Emma found Noah sketching in the loft. The mended painting hung beside him, its gold cracks glowing. Dad's serious about Paris, she said. Noah shrugged, but his shoulders relaxed. He'll complain about the coffee. Emma smiled. Probably. She hesitated, then handed him a small box. Inside was her old film camera. Take this. Capture your chaos. Noah's eyes softened. Thanks, Mom. As she turned to leave, he added quietly, I don't forgive you yet, but I want to. At 2 a.m. Emma's phone lit up. A message from an unknown number. Seattle's rainy, but the art scene's insane. L. She deleted it, then blocked the number. Noah's suitcase lay open on his bedroom floor, half-packed and chaotic. Paris loomed in 3 days, but the excitement he'd once felt had curdled into dread. He stared at his acceptance letter, the words blurring as Clara's voice echoed in his mind. Your mom's trying, Noah. Don't punish her forever. Downstairs, Emma and James argued in hissed whispers. You're really letting him go alone? James snapped, slamming a drawer shut. He's 18, Emma countered. And he needs this. We need this. James scoffed. So you can play the martyr while I'm the villain? Noah slammed his door shut, the sound reverberating through the house. The loft felt different now. Empty, haunted. Emma wandered through the space, her fingers brushing the spot where a clips once hung. Noah had taken it down, replacing it with mended. The gold cracks in the painting seemed to mock her. Her phone buzzed. A blocked number. You can't outrun chaos. L. She deleted it. Then, against her better judgment, she dialed Clara. He's in Seattle, Clara said before Emma could speak. But he's not the same. Whatever happened, it broke him too. Emma swallowed hard. Tell him to stay away. Or what? Clara's tone sharpened. You'll keep pretending you're the only one who's hurting? Noah found Liam's Instagram that night. A photo of the Seattle skyline captioned, New city, same ghosts. He hovered over the DM button, then typed, Why did you leave? The reply was instant. Same reason you're running. James booked a hotel room for space, but Emma knew it was a prelude to goodbye. She found Noah in the garage, smashing old canvases with a baseball bat. Stop, she yelled, grabbing his arm. He shook her off, breathing ragged. Why do you care? You're just gonna fall apart again. Emma stepped back, tears stinging. I'm trying to fix this. Fix what? Noah threw the bat. You and Dad? Me? Or just yourself? The question hung in the air, unanswered. The airport was crowded, suffocating. Noah's flight flashed on the departures board as James shoved a wad of euros into his hand. Call when you land. Noah nodded, avoiding Emma's gaze. Wait. She pressed her old film camera into his hands. For the chaos. He hesitated, then tucked it into his bag. Don't mess up while I'm gone. As he disappeared through security, James muttered, He'll be back. Emma said nothing. That night, rain lashed against the windows as Emma scrolled through Noah's Instagram. A new post, a shadowy selfie in the airport, captioned Goodbye Ghosts. Her phone lit up. A call from Seattle. She answered, her voice trembling. Liam. I'm sorry, he said. For everything. The line went dead. In Paris, Noah stood on a bridge overlooking the Seine, his camera capturing the city's glittering chaos. For the first time in months, he felt light. Back home, Emma opened Noah's bedroom door, her breath catching. On his desk lay a note. Fix yourselves. I'll fix me. The Parisian autumn painted the city in gold, and Noah's first solo exhibition buzzed with energy. His canvases, vibrant, fractured, and layered with metallic cracks, lined the gallery walls. The centerpiece, mended, glowed under a spotlight, its gold veins shimmering like scars turned sacred. Across the room, Emma adjusted her camera, capturing the crowd's awe. James stood beside her, his hand brushing hers, a tentative gesture but deliberate. He did this, James murmured, nodding at a painting titled Apologies in primary colors. All of it. Him. Emma smiled, her eyes glistening. And you helped get him here. James hesitated, then squeezed her hand. We did. In Seattle, Liam scrolled through Clara's texts, photos of Noah's exhibition, a shot of Emma laughing, a selfie of Clara mid-eye roll. Stop brooding. Come visit. He closed his laptop, the glow of his own design studio screen reflecting in his eyes. A half-finished mural sprawled behind him, a phoenix rising from shattered glass. His phone buzzed. A message from Noah. Your turn to show me your chaos. Liam smirked, typing. Maybe someday. Back home, Emma and James sat in Dr. Alvarez's office, the lavender-scented room now familiar. You've both done the work, Dr. Alvarez said. But healing isn't a finish line. It's a path. James glanced at Emma. We're ready to walk it. Together. Emma laced her fingers with his, the gesture small but seismic. Noah FaceTimed them from a Parisian cafe, his hair windswept, the Eiffel Tower glittering behind him. They want my work in a Berlin gallery, he said, trying to sound nonchalant. James chuckled. Berlin? Your mother will need a better camera. Emma elbowed him, grinning. We'll need passports. Noah paused, his smile softening. Thanks. For showing up. On a crisp Sunday morning, Emma unpacked a box in the loft, Noah's childhood sketches, James' old blueprints, and her own dusty film rolls. She pinned a photo to the wall. Noah at his exhibition, bathed in gallery light, mended behind him. James stepped in holding 2 mugs of coffee. Clara's coming over. She says we're obligated to help her redecorate. Emma laughed, the sound lighter than it had been in years. Tell her we're busy. Living. Noah's Berlin exhibition opened with a crowd. His new collection, Fragments, drew whispers and tears. Near the exit, Liam lingered, hands in his pockets, until Noah spotted him. You came, Noah said, smirking. Someone insisted I stop brooding. Liam nodded at Clara, who waved from across the room. Emma snapped a photo of them. Noah mid-laugh, Liam rolling his eyes, the art around them a kaleidoscope of brokenness and rebirth. James stood beside her, arm around her waist. You were right, he said. The chaos is the best part. And that's it for today's story. I'd love to hear what you think. Leave a comment below and share your feelings. Did you relate to any of the characters? Or if you were in their shoes, what decisions would you make? I'd love to hear from all of you. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't, hit one. Subscribe so you don't miss out on more great content. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.